Light bane unda? Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Shrunvan Utibhissi Dasadanam Shri Mahaganadipataye Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. Dear friends, we are reading the 16th shloka of 8th Adhyaya. 16th shloka we have almost completed. In the last line of Bhashyam we were reading. The shloka is this, that is, A Brahmabhuvanal Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna Mam Upetyatu Kaunteya Punarjanma Navidyate. So, A Brahmabhuvanat, that is, including this Brahmaloka, including this Hiranyagarbha Loka, all the lokas are returning in nature. They have a recurrence. Loka means Lokyate iti lokaha. It is an experiential state. It is a state of experience which is attained by a sadhaka, isn't it? So up to this Brahmaloka, these are all experiential states. And about this Brahmaloka, I was telling about one point, that is, this Brahmaloka is reached in two channels, two ways. That is, one by Upasana and one by Karma. And whatever is attained by Karma is impermanent. Because moksha, say knowledge, is not karma sadhya. It is only karma, knowledge is only by Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. It is not karma sadhyam. Karma sadhyam is only a loka, isn't it? Upasana is a sort of intermediate state between karma and jnana. A person is doing a yaga, and then in the process of that yaga, he also does that upasana. Along with that yagam, he also does some upasana. That is also called karma. That word is not required for you, but I am just telling. Karmanga avabadha upasana. Karmanga avabadha upasana it is called. So it is a sort of intermediate stage between karma and jnana. An intermediate stage between the path of karma, path of action, and path of knowledge. So this is definitely superior to the karma path, because upasana has some component, some content of knowledge. Some content of knowledge means he is at least meditating on the say the nature of that particular God form. He is thinking about that God form, and he is doing that aham grahopasana. He is trying to elevate himself to the level of that deity. So aham grahopasana is he is trying to elevate himself. He is trying to purify himself, get rid of all the dross and all the dirt, and then elevate himself to the level of that particular deity which he is which he is worshipping. So that is that upasana. So one who goes in this channel and then reaches that Hiranyagarbha Loka, there, because of the predominance of sattva guna, he attains moksha. Attains moksha in the sense that jnana dawns on him, and then he attains moksha. And then he will be there in that particular loka as long as Hiranyagarbha is there. And along with that Hiranyagarbha also has a particular tenure, isn't it? So along with that Hiranyagarbha, he again merges in Brahman. So that is the postulation which is made in Vedanta. Whereas the other people who go by this karma path, it is for that fellow, it is a question of say experiencing that particular state for a particular time, and then he is returning. Returning means what is the meaning of return? He is still with that say linga sharira, and then that linga sharira it is still having that I feeling, that body the body mind say desire or craving it is having. So this particular linga sharira is craving for a body, it is craving for some experience, it is craving to come back. So in that way, once it feels that it is, say the person who goes in the jnana path, he is one who has got rid of his parichinnatva. Parichinnatva means the feeling of delimitedness. He is identifying himself with that higher being, and then from that higher being he wants to identify with Brahman. He is realizing, he is on the path of realization. Whereas this man, he is only in the path of seeking happiness. So he is still having that I feeling. I want to be in this loka, I want to be in this state of happiness, I want to be in this state of happiness. So once that thing is over, once the tenure is over, again his linga sharira craves for a body. It craves for some more achievement. It is a sort of craving for achievement, craving for some more lokas and whatnot. So that is how it comes back. So that is the meaning of punaravartana. So loka, it is not the loka which is punaravartana, which is coming back, it is the person who is coming back. So I explained to you, that is called, it is a figure of speech in English, it is called a transferred epithet. This fact of returning is something which is associated with the person. But returning is lokaha punaravartinaha. So it is attributed to the lokaha. So it is a figure of speech, that's all. So these people who go in this path, they come back and then they embody themselves. That particular linga sharira embodies itself. Embodies itself means it takes upon a body. It takes a body. So that is the context which we were seeing. And then in the second line, Lord Krishna is saying, Mam upetyatu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. But once the people who attain me, the people who attain the real, that self-realization, they will not come back. Those who go in the upasana path, and then those on whom wisdom dawns, so those people, they do not return. That is the point here. So we were reading this line, A Brahma Bhuvanat Saha Brahma Bhuvanena Lokaha Sarve Punaravartanaha Punaravartana Swabhavaha He Arjuna. Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, next line. Mam Ekam Upetyatu Kaunteya Punarjanma Punarutpattihi Na Vidyate. Okay, Mam Ekam Upetya. We know what is the meaning of Mam. Whenever Krishna refers to himself, he is not referring to his avatara. It is not a personal God to whom we are referring in Gita. We are referring to the Supreme Brahman. The Supreme Brahman is that Sat Chit Ananda, that Supreme Brahman called truth, say this existence, consciousness, and say the bliss. So that sort of Ananda, that is this type of Brahman we are referring to. So Mam Upetya. Upetya means having attained me. Punarjanma Punarutpattihi Na Vidyate. Okay, so what did we see in this shloka? We saw that this punaravritti is there for those people who go by this karma path. Then moksha is something which is not karma sadhyam. Moksha means liberation. Liberation is not something which can be attained by a karma. That is, karma means a particular yajna or something like that. Then upasana is superior to karma. That is also the point which we notice here incidentally. Upasana is inferior to karma, though it is lower than the jnana path, the actual pure jnana path, but still upasana is superior to pure karma path. So it is something in between. It is a sort of intermediate stage. So this is what we have seen. Then brahmaloka sahitaha lokaha kasmat punaravartinaha kala parichinnatvat katham sahasra iti. So this small avatarika is saying, all these Brahmaloka Sahitaha Lokaha, all these states of experience, including that Brahmaloka, including that experiential state called Hiranyagarbha Brahmaloka, they are all Punaravartinaha. They are of the nature of recurrence. Punaravartanam, that is returning. They have that return ticket is there built in that. Why? Punaravartinaha. Why? Kala Parichinnatvat. Because they are all defined by time. They are all delimited by time. We know that this Parichinnatva is 3 levels. One is Desha Parichinna, one is Kala Parichinna, another is Vastu Parichinna. Desha Parichinna is, if I am here, I am not there in my house, I am not there in London, I am not there in Delhi or some other place. I am delimited by space. I belong to this particular, I am occupying a particular space at a particular point of time. Then Kala Parichinna. At this particular time I am here. I was not here about 100 years ago in this world at all. Some years ago, and I will not be there in this world after a few years. So I am again Kala Parichinna. Then again Vastu Parichinna means I have a particular identity here. I am not you and you are not me. So this is Parichinnatva. So this Parichinna, because this Loka is also an experiential state, also is a Parichinnatva, Parichinna thing or a delimited thing. So that is why all these things are returning in nature. Then Sahasra iti. Let us read this shloka. Sahasra yuga pariyantam aharyad brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahasrantam
Yugasahasranta
Te horatra vido janaha.
Te horatra vido janaha.
Okay. So here we are talking about the divine days, the day of Brahma. Our day of Brahma and our what is our day and what is Brahma's day? What is the difference? That is what we have to see. So this Kala, the reckoning of time, Kala Gananam as we call it, Kala Kalanam. Kala Kalanam means calculation of time, the reckoning of time. How was this made? So the lowest say unit, what is the smallest unit of time, as you know? Second. In our tradition? Shanam, not Shanam. Shanam is not there. It is called Nimesha. We say Shanam in a normal course, we say Shanam, but then the correct thing is Nimesha. Nimesha is the time taken for just one blink of an eye. Just blinking of an eye. It is slightly less than a second. It is slightly less than a second. Second, of course, the calculation of second is done in a different way. In a particular place, some sort of something is there. If you go and look into the dictionary, they will say in this particular place, the particular time taken for this particular thing is called a second. So something like that, there will be a definition. But here, this is something which is universal. All people, they take the same time for blinking an eye, isn't it? So this blinking of an eye is called Nimesha. Just this is the time taken. So Nimesha means blinking of the eye. In fact, you must be knowing the meaning of Animesha. What is the meaning of Animesha or Animisha? Animisha means somebody who is not even having that, who does not blink his eye, who always keeps his eyes open. Who are they? They are gods. Animesha means God. So they are called Animesha only because their gods are supposed to be eternally watchful, eternally vigilant, and then they are supposed to be protecting you. So that is why gods are supposed to be Animeshas. If you read Amarakosha, you get all these things. Amarana Jara Deva Sura Vibudha Suraha Suparvana Sumana Sastridivesha Divaukasaha, it goes on like that. There you also get this word called Animesha. Animesha is those who do not even blink their eyes. And then if you know this Lalita Sahasram, there is one line, Unmesha Nimishotpanna Vipanna Bhuvanavalihi. Unmesha Nimishotpanna Utpanna Bhuvanavalihi. That is, with this Unmesha and Nimesha, Unmesha is opening of an eye and Nimesha is closing of an eye. The worlds are created and destroyed in the blink of an eye. So that is the way of that is the Shakti Sampradaya. In that particular Purana, so that particular whoever has written, whether it is sage Vyasa or somebody who has written, he has praised that Shakti in that particular manner. Anyway, Nimesha is the smallest unit of time. And the time taken for 15 Nimeshas, that is 15 blinks of an eye, is called a Kashta. I just noted it from one book called, what is this, Vichara Sagaram of Sadhu Nishchaladas. I keep referring to that book. So in that Vichara Sagaram of Sadhu Nishchaladas, this reckoning of time is given. This 15 blinks of eye, it's called one Kashta, and 30 Kashtas is called one Kala. Kala, Kashtaha, they are measures of time. Then these 30 such Kalas are called a Muhurta. And then 30 such Muhurtas, they constitute a day, what we call a day, that is day and night. The day means that full day and night, Ahoratra Dinam, what we call 24 hours, is equal to 30 Muhurtas. So we say so and so Abhijit Muhurta, so and so Muhurta, so and so Muhurta. There are 30 such Muhurtas during one 24-hour period or 24-hour time. So this we know. So this is up to this point. From this point we know. Say 365 days it constitutes an year, and so many years they constitute a particular yuga. You must be knowing in which yuga we are. We are in the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, Prathama Pade, Jambu Dvipe, Bharata Varsha, that is what we say. In Kali Yuga, we are in this first pada, the first step of Kali Yuga, we are there. And this first step of Kali Yuga, we have finished about 5,000 odd years. 5,000 odd years means ever since the death of Krishna. The death of Krishna marked the end of Dwapara Yuga. And from that time, the Kali has entered. So that Kali Yuga has started about 5,000 years ago. That is our reckoning, isn't it? So there are some, before that there are some yugas. Before that there are some yugas means that Krita Yuga is the first one. Krita Yuga a few 100,000 years. And then Dwapara Yuga, again a few 100,000 years. Then again, next to Krita Yuga is Treta Yuga. Then after the Treta Yuga is Dwapara Yuga, where Krishna lived. Krita Yuga, some other older kings like Mandhata, etc. Then Treta Yuga, Lord Rama was the dominant figure in that Treta Yuga. Lord Krishna is the dominant figure in this Dwapara Yuga. Of course, Kali Yuga, there are no dominant persons noted so far according to our Puranas. Anyway, in the Kali Yuga, we have spent about 5,000 years. So, every Yuga is having a few 100,000 years, isn't it? So, all these four put together, Kruta, Treta, Dwapara and Kali, put together, it is called one Mahayuga. So, a few, say a few 100,000 years is called a Mahayuga. Exactly how many, we don't require, we need not go into such details, because it works out to several hundreds of thousands of years. Then, such yugas, if you take 1,000 yugas like that, 1,000 Mahayugas, it becomes a day. So, that is what is the first line says. Sahasra yuga paryantam ahaha yat brahmanaha viduhu. Yat, that which brahmanaha ahaha viduhu. Brahmanaha, of that Brahman, not Supreme Brahman, but of the Brahma. I should not say Brahman, I should say Brahma. Brahma means that Hiranyagarbha Brahma. So that Hiranyagarbha Brahma, Brahmanaha ahaha. Ahaha means the day. Ahar Nisha, we know. Ahas is day. Nisha is Ratri. Brahmanaha ahaha viduhu. People know. What do the people know? Sahasra yuga paryantam iti viduhu. Sahasra yuga paryantam is 1,000 such Mahayugas. That is the time limit of, that is the time span, let us say. That is the time span or time scale of this creator Brahma's day. So that is how we have calculated the time. In fact, this is something which is mind-boggling. That is why when all these Europeans came to our, country, so they were really surprised. They were really surprised because according to their religion, God created the whole universe in 4004 BC. According to their, reckoning. What all this is, all these great bishops and all those people, they sat sometime in 17th century under the leadership of one learned bishop called Bishop Ushar. So if you search in the Google also, you will get Ushar chronology. If you search in Google, you will get all those details. So here a big batch of learned bishops, they sat and then they tried to see, according to their books, all their books, when was the universe created. So they all came to the conclusion was the God suddenly created the universe on some September 23rd, 4004 BC or something like that. So with that in mind, when people like, when all these learned scholars and some other people, they came from Europe, and then when they wanted to capture India, they were astonished to see our books. So they were not able to admit, they were not able to concede that Vedas, they are some 6,000 years old, something a few thousand years old, because everything had to be within the framework of their book. So everything had to fit into their framework. So that was their mindset. So unfortunately, so that is why they were shocked, and then they said, no, Mahabharata cannot be older than some 2000 years. Then what is this, even say Rigveda cannot be older than say some 2000 years BC. Because the whole world was created in 4004 BC, how can Rigveda be older than that? So that is their unfortunate predicament. So but when it comes to us, say one astronomer, a popular astronomer, there are some TV serials also in the name of Cosmos. There are certain TV series in the name of Cosmos by one popular astronomer. His name is Carl Sagan. This was a few years ago. Carl Sagan, I don't know whether he is alive or not. C-A-R-L Carl, S-A-G-A-N, Carl Sagan. There are a series called Cosmos. In fact, they came in book form also. There he writes that the time scales which are found in these Hindu books, Hindu texts, that is something which corresponds with the modern time scales, what the science says. According to this scientific cosmology, the present day scientific cosmology, it says that the earth was created some 8.6 billion years or some billion years ago. So our time scales are almost corresponding to what the science says. So that is what Carl Sagan says. It is something surprising as to how these fellows they could guess, maybe intuitively. We do not know. We do not know what type of science is lost now. Because we do not read our own books and we do not do any research into our own books, so we have to depend on what some other professors say from outside India. So that is the unfortunate predicament now. But anyway, Carl Sagan himself gives a great certificate of recognition that what Indians say, Hindu books say, is something which is corresponding with modern cosmology. So that is the thing which we have to see. But anyway, that apart, Brahma's day is a few 100,000 years long. The human years, let us say. Let us call it a human year and a divine year. A divine day. So many thousands and thousands of human years, they constitute a divine day. Divine day means that Brahma's day. So that Brahma's day is the time when all these yugas take place. And then when he sleeps, so that is the pralaya. When he sleeps, that is the pralaya. All these things, they are resolved, they go back into ajnana. So when we sleep, what happens? So we interact with the world all through the day, that is Akara, Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna. I was telling about Mandukya Upanishad. This Vishwa, that is the stage in which you are interacting with the external world. Taijasa, you close your eyes and then you dream and then you create your own dream world, and that is what is called Taijasa. That is also as real as the other world which you see during the state of during the waking state. Then Prajna, that is Swapavastha, that is the sleeping state, deep sleep state. There is nothing. There is no creation, there is no sensory impressions either from the waking state or from the dream state. So that is something like a pralaya in the case of a human being, isn't it? All experiences, they come to a close. All experiences, they come to a halt in this prajna. In the case of a prajna, that is when a man is in sushupti, isn't it? So something similar is visualized in the case of that cosmic Brahman. Cosmic Brahman is that Hiranyagarbha Brahma. Hiranyagarbha Brahma, who is he? We are all individual, beings. That is Vyashti, as we call it. That Samashti Karana, Samashti Sukshma Sharira is that Hiranyagarbha, isn't it? And when that Samashti Sukshma Sharira again takes rest, where does it go? It goes into Samashti Karana Sharira, isn't it? That Samashti Karana Sharira is again one Avyakruta. Like a human body only, that Samashti Karana Sharira, Samashti Sukshma Sharira also goes into sleep and it goes into that Karana Sharira, isn't it? So then there is no creation. So long as Brahma is awake from morning till evening, there is creation. And that creation is in the span of 1,000 yugas, 1,000 Mahayugas. And in each Mahayuga, there are so many things called, each Mahayuga, there are 4 components. Kruta, Treta, Dwapara and Kali Yuga. So in this manner, our Puranas and our people, they have visualized. So this is partly, strictly speaking, partly religious belief, partly philosophy. So these are all fused into one. What we are seeing here is, it is partly philosophy and partly a religious belief and partly a postulation, partly an intuition. We do not know how intuitively these people have arrived at this sort of time span. So anyway, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Ahaha Yat Brahmanaha Viduhu. Yat Brahmanaha Ahaha Iti Viduhu, that which is called, as you see the words, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Ahaha, Ahas plus Yat, Ahas plus Yat becomes Ahariyat. Brahmanaha Viduhu. Brahmanaha Ahaha, Ahas means the Brahma's day. Iti Yad Viduhu. Viduhu means people know, people say. What is that? Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. This is having that span of 1,000 yugas, Mahayugas. Then Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam. Same span. He doesn't sleep like us. We sleep for about 7 hours a day and keep awake for 17 hours. So Brahma is not like that. He has equal time for sleep and equal time waking state. Anyway, Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam. So he has the same span for Ratri also. He has the same span, that is the same Sahasra Yuga day, Sahasra Yuga Ratri. And that Sahasra Yuga, all this Srushti is resolved. So here one commentator has said, he says that Drushti Srushti Vadaha Atra Nirupitaha. That is, Drushti Srushti Vada is, so long as the person is looking at the world, there is Srushti. If you close your eyes, there is no Srushti. So anyway, we need not go into the Drushti Srushti Vada because that is not the point here. Because it requires a great amount of elaboration. So here, let us see the shloka. Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam te ahoratra vidaha janaha. Ahoratra vidaha means those who know about the time span of ahas and ratri. Ahoratram means ahas and ratri is called ahoratram, day and night. Ahoratra vidaha means those who know that. Ahoratra vidaha janaha te viduhu, they know, and they say like that. Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam viduhu. They also know that his Brahma's night constitutes this 1000 Mahayugas. So that is the meaning here. Let us read the Bhashyam. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Sahasrani Yugani Paryantam Paryavasanam Yasya Ahnaha
Paryantam Paryavasanam Yasya Ahnaha
Tadaha Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Brahmanaha Prajapatehe Virajaha Viduhu.
Brahmanaha Prajapatehe Virajaha Viduhu.
Okay, we'll stop here. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. He is explaining the Samasa. Sahasrani Yugani Paryantam. Paryantam means Paryavasanam. Pari plus Avasanam. Avasanam means end. Paryavasanam. That is the time span. That is the limit. That is the time span. That is the Sahasra Yuga Paryantam is Anta. Pari plus Anta. Pari plus Avasanam. Avasanam is end. Anta also is end, isn't it? So Paryavasanam, that is the limit. That is the time span. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Yasya Ahnaha. That one whose day is this long. Then Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Brahmanaha. Who is this Brahma? Prajapatehe Virajaha Viduhu. So he is clearly explaining that we are not referring to the Supreme Brahman here. We are referring to this Prajapati. Prajapati means the creator. Prajapati. Praja Prakashena say Jayate. He creates himself. He creates himself in the form of so many things, so many beings. So Prajapati. He is the Srushtikarta. Prajapatehe Virajaha. Virajaha means Virajaha is not say in Prathama Vibhakti. Virajaha is in Shashti Vibhakti. It looks like Prathama Vibhakti. Prajapatehe Virajaha. Virat is Prathama Vibhakti. Virajaha is Shashti Vibhakti. Please note down, otherwise you may feel that it is Prathama Vibhakti. Like Ramaha, Krishnaha, Virajaha. You should not think like that. Virajaha is Shashti Vibhakti. Virat, Shashti Vibhakti of Virat. You see the previous word also. Prajapatehe. Prajapatehe is in Shashti Vibhakti. Brahmanaha is in Shashti Vibhakti. Brahmanaha Prajapatehe Virajaha. So who is this Virat? We have come across this word earlier also. Virat. Who is this Virat? Virat is Samashti Sthula Sharira. We are having a Sthula Sharira, we are having a Sukshma Sharira, and we are having a Karana Sharira, isn't it? In the case of Brahman also, in the case of that universal Samashti level, you visualize the same thing. That Samashti Sthula Sharira, what all the universe we physically see, is the body is considered or visualized as the body of this Virat. So, and Samashti Karana Sharira, that is the intelligence component. Of course, intelligence means intelligence again reflected in that, like in the case of us, that Brahman's intelligence reflected on that. So that is called Sukshma Sharira. And when that Sukshma Sharira takes stress, that is called Karana Sharira, that is what is called Laya, which we just now discussed. So this Samashti Sthula Sharira, that gross body, gross universe is called Virat. So Arjuna here, of course, he is not making a fine distinction between Sthula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira. He is saying that Prajapatehe Virajaha Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Day iti Viduhu, because it is the body. Body also goes to sleep, isn't it? Body also goes to sleep. That is why he is referring to that Virat. Then Ratrimapi
Ratrimapi
Yuga Sahasrantam
Yuga Sahasrantam
Ahah Parinamam Ahah Parimanam Eva.
Ahaf Parimanam Eva.
Okay. So Ratrim Api, Ratri also, what is the duration of the night? It is the same duration. Ratrim Api Yuga Sahasrantam Ahah Parimanam Eva. Ahah Parimanam. Ahah Parimana, the Dirgham is there because Ratri is in Strilinga. Ratri is Strilinga. So that is why he says Yuga Sahasrantam Parimanam. So that is why. Eva. Then Ke Viduhu Ityaha
Ke Viduhu Ityaha
Te Ahoratra Vidaha
Te Ahoratra Vidaha
Kala Sankhya Vidaha Janaha Ityarthaha.
Kala Sankhya Vidaha Janaha Ityarthaha.
So who say like that? Ke Viduhu means who know, or who say like that? Ahoratra Vidaha, those who know about this thing. Maybe all these astronomers of old, because astronomy is one subject which is associated, which is part of this Vedic studies. Along with this Veda, there is what is called Veda Anga. Anga means the limbs. These 6 limbs of Veda, they are called Shiksha, Vyakarana, Chandas, Jyotisha, Nirukta and Kalpam. Shiksha is linguistics, pronunciation, how exactly words have to be pronounced and all that, linguistics. Vyakaranam, grammar. Chandas, that is prosody as we call it. Nirukta means etymological derivation of all the words. Jyotisha was a very, very important component of the Vedas. Jyotisha, that is observation of the external, all the external bodies, all these say heavenly bodies, and then they drew various calculations, and from those calculations only they have told about the time span, and then all this when earth was created and all these things, the time span they could arrive at only because of that. So astronomy, it reached its peak. There is what is called a Surya Siddhanta. Have you heard about a book called Surya Siddhanta? In that Surya Siddhanta, much before say what is this Galileo or Copernicus, long before Galileo and Copernicus, our people had told about the sun is the center of this say this particular say what we call the planetary system now, and it is the Bhumi, that is the earth, which rotates around the sun. So this is what we have to know. There is one professor in what is this IIT Mumbai, who has done a lot of research on Indian astronomy. His name is Ramasubramanian. He has done a lot of research on the ancient Indian astronomy. Anyway, Kala Sankhya Vidaha Janaha, that is those who know about this Kala Sankhya. Sankhya means here Sankhyanam. Sankhya does not mean number. Kala Sankhyanam means calculation. Kala calculation. Kala Sankhyanam. Kala Sankhya Vidaha Janaha Ityarthaha. Then let us read. Yata evam Kala Parichhinnaste Ataha Punaravartino Lokaha. Okay, because they are delimited in time, they are all returning in nature. So you must have understood that I discussed it. Because it is Kala Parichhinna, you stay for a particular time and then you have to jolly well return. So that is the meaning here. Next, Prajapatehe ahani yad bhavati Ratraucha Taduchyate Avyakta iti. Okay. So Prajapatehe ahani. Ahani means in the day, during the day. Ahani is Saptami Vibhakti, in. That ahani yad bhavati, what happens during the day. And Ratraucha. Ratrau also is in Saptami Vibhakti. That is Ratraucha means and in the night. In the day what happens and in the night what happens is not told in this shloka. That is being told in the next shloka. Idu uchyate. So that is what we discussed. That is in the day all the creation takes place, and in the night that pralaya, all the things they get resolved into that Karana Sharira. So that is it. Let us read this shloka. Avyaktad vyaktayas sarvaha Prabhavantyaragame Ratriyagame praliyante Tatraiva vyakta sanyake. Okay, Avyaktad vyaktayaha sarvaha prabhavanti. So from this Avyakta, what is Avyakta? Avyakta is unmanifest. That which is not manifest is Avyakta. Vyakta means that vyajyate, that which is seen, that which is manifest, which appears. So this word avyakta is not there in this 17th shloka which we just read. Sahasra yuga paryantam, in that avyakta is not said. This word is used here. Avyaktat vyaktayah sarvaha prabhavanti. Avyakta, we are now referring to that particular night of Brahman, the night of Brahman, which is that unmanifest state. The night of Brahman in which all things get resolved, that is called the unmanifest state. So avyaktat, from that avyaktat, vyaktayah sarvaha. Vyaktayah means all these bodies, they come out. Prabhavanti. Prabhavanti means they are born. Prabhavati. Bhu dhatu. Bhu dhatu is to be, to become, come into being, come into existence. Prabhavanti. They all come into existence. When aharagame. Ahaha plus agamaha. Agama means arrival. Arrival of the day. Arrival of the dawn. At the dawn. So at the dawn, what happens? Aharagame. At the daybreak, let us say. At Brahma's dawn or Brahma's daybreak, what happens? Te vyaktayah sarvaha prabhavanti. All these universes, they come out. All these beings, they come out. All these beings emerge. Then ratriyagame. Ratri plus agama. Ratriyagame means arrival of night. Aharagame is arrival of day. That is dawn. Ratriyagame means night. Nightfall. Ratriyagame, in the nightfall. Praliyante. Liyante means they just get absorbed. They just get withdrawn into that avyakta. So praliyante, absorbed. Tatraiva avyakta sangnake. Tatraiva, in the same avyakta, they get resolved, they get absorbed. Avyakta sangnake means sangnakam. Sangna means that which is called. Sangna, we know several times we have come across this word. Sangna, that which is told, that which is called. Avyakta sangnake. So tatraiva avyakta sangnake, they get absorbed. So that is it. So this shloka is like this. Avyaktat, from that avyakta, sarvaha vyaktayaha, all these bodies, prabhavanti, they come out, they emerge, they come out. When aharagame, at the daybreak, at the dawn. Whose dawn? It is Brahma's, that particular creator's dawn. Then ratriyagame, at the nightfall. Praliyante, they all get resolved, they get back into that, they are withdrawn. Where tatraiva, into the same avyakta, into the same unmanifest, they get withdrawn. Avyakta sangnake, that which is called avyakta. So that is the shloka. Let us read the bhashyam. Avyaktat avyaktam prajapatehe swapavastha.
Avyaktam prajapatehe swapavastha.
Tasmad avyaktat vyaktayah vyajyante iti vyaktayaha. Sthavara jangama lakshanaha sarva prajaha. Prabhavanti abhivyajyante. Ahnaha agamaha. Aharagamaha. Tasmin aharagame kale. Brahmanaha prabodha kale. Okay, we'll stop here. Brahmanaha prabodha kale. Prabodha means getting up, waking up. Brahmana prabodha kale, at the time when Brahma gets up. So what is that? Avyaktat, the meaning of avyakta, he is saying, avyaktam means prajapatehe swapavastha. Swapavastha means that time of sleep. Sleep does not mean dream here. Of course, we have not conjectured or we visualized what happens to Prajapati in his dream. We have only talked about day and night. So in this night, when he goes to sleep, so all these things, in that swapavastha, avyakta, vyaktayaha. Vyakti means abhivyakti. They come into existence, they appear. Abhivyakta bhavanti. That is, vyaktayaha vyajyante iti vyaktaha. Vyajyate. That is, that which is seen, that which is noticed, iti vyakti. Vyakti means these are all individual beings, all these bodies. What is a human body? Not only human body, any body. Any body is a tool for experiencing so many things. It is a tool for experiencing good, bad, ugly, say experiences which we encounter every day. So that is why it is called Shariram, is called a Bhoga Sadhanam or a Bhogayatanam. So in fact, one commentator said, Shariraha Sharira Vishayadi Rupaha Bhoga Bhumayaha. That is what Madhusudana Saraswati writes. Bhoga Bhumi. Shariram is called a Bhoga Bhumi. And it is also called a Karma Bhumi. So when we say Karma Bhumi, what do we mean normally? This is all Karma Bhumi we say. When we say Karma Bhumi, we are not referring to India. We are referring to human body. Human body is a Karma Bhumi. And all bodies, they are only Bhoga Bhumayaha. If you see, if you take an elephant's body, it is not a Karma Bhumi. It is only a Bhoga Bhumi. You see a dog's body, it is a Bhoga Bhumi. It is just reaping the consequences of its previous actions. It has just got a birth because of certain actions done earlier. A human body has a distinction. It is not only a Bhoga Bhumi, it is also a Karma Bhumi, where you have got the freedom. You have got the freedom to evolve. You have got the freedom to go up or down. You can dissipate yourself and go down and then go to a lower Janma. You can do some good things and then do either some socially useful things, or in your own sadhana, spiritual sadhana also you can do some good things, and then you can elevate yourself like this Upasana, Jnana Kanda, Jnana Path and all that. So human body is called a Karma Bhumi because there is a chance, there is a free will. There is a mixture of this small determinism and free will. I have told about these two words earlier. Determinism is saying that you are determined, you are destined to be like this. So your Janma, up to that point of Janma, there is some determinism. That is your previous karma, that baggage of karma determines that. But once you are born, you are having that free will to elevate yourself. So the human body is a Karma Bhumi. So when when people say that Karma Bhumi is India, oh, the India is Karma Bhumi, our own Purohits, they keep on saying very ignorantly, India Karma Bhumi, America is Bhoga Bhumi, something like that. Is a very idiotic statement, ignorant statement. Human body is a Karma Bhumi. A man staying in America may be doing some good job, he will be doing some socially useful work, he is doing a good karma, and then according to our Siddhanta, according to our doctrine, he is in a Karma Bhumi. Any human being, anywhere in the world, is in a Karma Bhumi. He has got a chance to elevate himself spiritually. So that is Karma Bhumi. Bhoga Bhumi, everybody, all beings are Bhoga Bhumis only. A dog's body, an ant's body, everything is a Bhoga Bhumi. You just touch an ant and you kill an ant, that Bhoga is over. So that experience is over. So something like that. So here, Shariraha means, Vyaktayaha means all these beings, all the bodies, which are all Bhoga Bhumayaha. They all Prabhavanti Aharagame. Then Prabhavanti Abhivyajyante Ahnaha Agame. Ahnaha means Shashti Vibhakti of day. Ahnaha is not Prathama Vibhakti, Shashti Vibhakti, the Ahnaha Agame, that is at the time of arrival of the day. Then Aharagamaha, Tasmin Aharagame Kale, Brahmanaha Prabodha Kale, at the time when Brahma awakes. Then Tatha Ratriyagame Brahmanaha Swapakale Praliyante Sarvaha Vyaktayaha Tatraiva Purvokte Avyakta Sangnake. So when it becomes dark or when it becomes night for that creator Brahma, Brahmanaha Swapakale, for that creator Brahma, when it is night, then at that time, why are we saying all this day and night in the case of Brahma? Because that Hiranyagarbha, that Samashti Sukshma Sharira is there. Along with the Samashti Sukshma Sharira, all these Akasha, Vayu and all these things are also there, isn't it? So that is why that Samashti Sthola Sharira is taking rest, we are saying. But when it is Pralaya, that is at that when the 100 years are over for that Brahma, and then that Brahma's Pralaya time also is over, that is supposed to be called, that is called Mahapralaya, where the whole universe is resolved, when the whole universe disappears. So that is what the postulation of our books. So the whole universe dissolves and then it is indistinguishable, it is only Sat Chitananda which remains. So that is what it is. So Ratriyagame Praliyante Sarvaha Vyaktayaha Tatraiva Purvokte Avyakta Sangnake. In the Purvokta means that which is told before. Purvokta Avyakta Sangnake, what is called in that unmanifest. So in that unmanifest only, all these things they are withdrawn. And then again on the next day, they are again released. On the next morning, say Brahma's day is so many yugas for us, Sahasra yugas. So that is the time span which has been told by our books. Then next, is the shloka clear?
Yes.
So then let us see the next thing. There is a small avatarika for the next shloka. Akrutabhyagama
Akrutabhyagama
Kruta Vipranasha Dosha Pariharartham
Kruta Vipranasha Dosha Pariharartham
Bandha Moksha Shastra
Bandha Moksha Shastra
Pravrutti Safalya Pradarshyanartham
Pravrutti Safalya Pradarshanaartham
Avidyadi Kleshamula Karmashaya Vashacha
Avidyadi Kleshamula Karmashaya Vashacha
Avashaha Bhutagramaha
Avashaha Bhutagramaha
Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate Ityataha
Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate Ityataha
Samsare Vairagya Pradarshyanartham
Samsare Vairagya Pradarshanaartham
Artham Cha
Pradarshanaartham Cha
Idamaha
Idamaha
Bhutagrama Iti.
Bhutagrama iti.
So this next shloka, which is starting with the words Bhutagrama, they are being told with a purpose. What is that purpose? So he is giving a small explanation about that. So in Shastra, there is what is called Akruta Abhyagama and Kruta Vipranasha. Suppose you are a very righteous person. You are doing all good deeds. You have done some all socially useful things, and then you have also done some yajnas, you have also done some upasanas, and all these things you have done. And then okay, at the end of life you kick the bucket and then you disappear. So then suppose you are born as some blind fellow or some dog or pig or something like that, then what is the, say, where is justice? Where is justice at the cosmic level? Suppose you see there is so much of diversity in the universe, isn't it? Somebody is born rich, somebody is born poor, somebody is born with a fit body, somebody is born as a lame. There are so many things, somebody is blind. So all these things, there is so much of diversity which is seen. Somebody is born in a king's family, somebody in a pauper's family. So that is the diversity which we see. How do you explain this diversity? So in order to explain this diversity, Vedanta has made a postulation. That is, there is what is called a karma. And then this karma is something which is there, that gives some sort of apurva, that gives some karma phala. And then that apurva is also there with the body. When the body transmigrates, when the body means, when not the body falls off, when this sukshma sharira transmigrates, so then that takes upon a particular body in accordance with the karma phala. That is what we have been seeing all that. So akruta bhyagama means na krutam, akrutam, that is something which is not done. Abhyagama means getting something which you have not done. That is getting a result for something which you have not done. You do all good deeds and then suddenly you are born as a pig. So that is akruta bhyagama. Then kruta pranasha also. Kruta pranasha, you have done all these good deeds and then what all good deeds you have done, they are all destroyed. Kruta pranasha, all good deeds are destroyed and you are born, you are given a raw deal. And some other fellow, suppose you say, somebody else is born in a king's family, and then earlier, suppose you say that fellow, he had done all the criminal acts and whatnot. So maybe all criminals only are born in, say, king's family so that they can earn more and more wealth, and that is the present day. But anyway, apart from that, if you think like that, how do you connect this man's karma with that fellow's, say, present riches and fortunes? So which means that you are calling the creator a very erratic person, isn't it? A creator will be a very erratic person. So he creates somebody as a rich man, somebody as a poor man. That is what is called Vaishamya Nairghrunya Prakaranam Adhikaranam. I told several times in what is this Brahma Sutras, there is a huge adhikarana called Vaishamya Nairghrunya Adhikaranam. So that is basically to say that the creator does not have any Vaishamya Nairghrunya against anybody. He does not have either enmity or dispassion or anything like that. He is equal to all. He is only a karma phala data. He is the arbiter of that justice. To whatever work you have done, he gives justice. He gives the rightful, say, what is due to you. What is due to you is given. So that is what is the role of the creator. So here, akruta abhyagama, that is getting something which you have result which you have not done. Then Kruta vipranasha. What you have done is vinashta. That is what it has disappeared. All good deeds you have done is good deeds or bad deeds, let us say. Good or bad. What you have done has disappeared. What you have not done, it has come to you. So that is it. You go to a bank and you don't have money in a bank, suddenly you get 1 million rupees. So that is akruta bhyagama. That is like that. Tad dosha pariharartham. This is a sort of dosha. This is something, it is a defect. It is a defect in the structure. When you visualize a structure, a postulation also, here as we just now discussed, there is a little bit of mixture of Purana, a little bit mixture of religious belief along with philosophy. We have been discussing pure philosophy, that is Brahma, all these things, the nature of Jiva, Brahma and things like that. But you can't totally de-link it with the religion, isn't it? So religion also has to be brought in. Religion has to be brought into the structure of philosophy. In fact, Hinduism is the only religion which is brought into the structure of philosophy. Other religions, they are only bundle of beliefs. Just a bundle of beliefs where there is no philosophy integrated. We have integrated philosophy. So anyway, here, so these are the things. So that is why a postulation which is made has to be logical. This logic, this why karma siddhanta is accepted is, this is one important reason. This dosha pariharartham, that is in order to avoid this particular defect. Then another point which you see is if totally new people are born in every creation. So here what we are seeing is the same people are born again and again in different creations, in different creations. Why? If totally different people are formed, they come into being, then again you are attributing arbitrary nature to Brahma, isn't it? So the same people who have been withdrawn, resolved in the previous pralaya, the same people are released again. That is again one point which we see here. Then Bandha Moksha Shastra Pravrutti Safalya Pradarsanartham. That is Bandha Moksha Shastra. That is Bandha Shastram and Moksha Shastram. Bandha means bondage. Bandha Shastramu, there is no such thing as Bandha Moksha Shastra. Usually Bandha Moksha Shastra refers to this Kanda Dvayatmakam Vedam. Kanda Dvayatmakam is that say this Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Some people of course say Upasana Kanda also, but normally the division is Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda is one thing which tells about all these yagas, all these rituals and all these things, which basically they are binding in nature, isn't it? Then Jnana Kanda is something which is telling about say some self-realization and how you get rid of all these things. So one thing is telling you how to bind yourself, another thing is telling you how to release yourself. So for somebody who wants to live in a society and then get all achievements and then get all recognition and achievement and whatnot, it is telling about some bandha. Then it is also telling about release or moksha for those who want to get rid of these things. So bandha moksha shastra refers to this kanda dvayatmako veda, that is karma kanda and also the jnana kanda. Then pravrutti safalya pradarsanartham. Pravrutti safalyam. That is for all the karmas which you have done, you have to get the result also, isn't it? Pravrutti safalyam. Pravrutti means that is engaging in action. Pravrutti, engaging oneself in action is pravrutti. Pravrutti safalyam. You have engaged yourself in an action and you have to get the result also. So that also has to be demonstrated in Shastra. So that is why safalya pradarsanartham. Then avidya kleshamula karmashaya vashacha. One more reason is that avidya klesha mula karmashaya vashacha. So this body is a karma ashaya. Ashaya means a bundle. It is a baggage of karma. Karma ashaya. You understand? Karma ashaya. Ashaya means a baggage, a bundle, a collection. Karma ashaya. Karma ashaya vashacha. That because the body is a bundle. Body means I am talking about the sukshma sharira. It is a bundle of these karmas. Then how? Avidyadi klesha mula karma ashaya. All the reason for all this is avidya adi. Avidya adi kleshaha. He is also referring to one Patanjali Sutra here. You see how closely Shankaracharya also is drawing certain words from this Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali is said to be prior to Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya is very respectfully drawing all these things from Patanjali Yoga. So if you see Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, there he very clearly says, we have accepted everything, all the good features of yoga. We have accepted all the good features of Sankhya also. Where it is contradicting with our final doctrine of non-duality, we don't agree. But till that time, all other things which do not contradict with the Veda, with the basic message of the Veda, because according to our Siddhanta, non-dual Siddhanta, what Vedas or Upanishads postulate is a non-dual reality. So that which is in consonance with a non-dual reality, we take from any other, say, branch of any other school of philosophy. But when it contradicts the main doctrine, then only that portion we reject. So that is what Shankaracharya makes clear in that Brahma Sutra Bhashya. So like that, here again he is taking one Patanjali Yoga Sutra. That sutra says about avidya and klesha. Klesha means that which is that which causes trouble is a klesha. Klesham is a normal Telugu word also. We use that word klesha. Klesha is a trouble. What are all these things? What are these things which cause troubles? Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, pancha klesha. There is a sutra like that in Patanjali Yoga Darshana. The first pada. In the first pada there is a sutra which says avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, pancha klesha. You have to get hold of one book of Patanjali Yoga Sutra also. It will be of great use to you. Our own Pullala Sri Ramachandrudu has written a book in Telugu, Patanjali Yoga Sutralu. You can go to that bookstall. It is available in that bookstall. It is available in Telugu, Patanjali Yoga Darshana. You please buy that book. You read that first pada, which is of great use to you, because it will help us in our study of Gita also. So that sutra says avidya. Avidya is that ignorance. Ignorance I need not elaborate, we have been discussing all through. Ignorance is not knowing one's own self. Asmita. Asmita is that I feeling. Asmita is that identification with the ego, identification with the body-mind complex. That is asmita. Asmi. What is the meaning of asmi? Asmi. Aham, asmi. Asmi means I am. I am. Asmita is feeling that I am. That is asmita. Avidya, asmita. Raga. Raga is passion, like for a thing. Dvesha, dislike for a thing. Abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is you cling on to a thing, that clinging on to a thing. Phala abhisandhi as we call it. Abhinivesha. Abhinivesha, clinging on to a thing. It may be a thing or an opinion also. Abhinivesha. Abhinivishta janaha. You hold on to an opinion and you say that you are the only person who are right. You say that you are the only person right in the world and all others are wrong. So that is again an abhinivesha. Abhinivishta janaha it is called. So these are the kleshas. These are all the things which bring down a person. So that is what he is saying. Avidya the klesha mula. Klesha mula means because of all these things, he has become a karmashaya. Karmashaya vashacha. Avashaha bhutagramaha bhutva praliyate. Avashaha means helplessly. Avashaha. It is not as though all the beings they deliberately want to come and then say stay in this world, but even helplessly they just go in this cycle. They just move in this cycle, rotate in this cycle. Avashaha bhutagramaha. Bhutagramaha means, grama means gaon. Gaon is a village, but grama actually means an assembly, a group or an assembly. Bhutagrama is all the assembly of beings. That is hordes and hordes of beings. All these innumerable beings, hordes and hordes of beings. That is what is called bhutagrama. This bhutagramaha bhutva praliyate. That is bhutva. It comes into existence, then goes. Again it comes into existence, it goes. So that is bhutva. Coming again and again. Praliyate. That is get back. Ityataha, therefore, samsare vairagya pradarshanartham cha idamaha. So the ultimate objective of this shloka is to generate some little bit of vairagya, some sense of dispassion. Vairagya is not disgust. We should realize that vairagya is not disgust. Normally we use the word vairagya, arey, what is there in this samsara? If it is an intellectual, it is, if that conclusion is arrived at in a very intellectual manner, that is vairagya. If it is arrived at because of some trouble or some other problem, then it is not vairagya, it is a temporary mental state. So vairagya should be associated by viveka. Viveka is discrimination. You have discrimination of what is right and what is wrong, what is nitya and what is anitya, that nitya nitya vastu viveka, all these things, if they lead to dispassion, that is real vairagya. So, samsare vairagya pradarsanartham cha idamaha bhutagrama iti. So, the time is over. 1 minute, in which case we'll stop. We'll see the shloka in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Today's date is